Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning, Mary's going to start with the weather and water, and after I'll move on to the trail chatter. Go ahead and take it away, Mary.
Thank you, Donald.
All right, great, thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Right now in Blairsville, it is 64 degrees with some fog. We're looking at a high of 84 today with a mix of sun and clouds. There is a chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm. Winds will be light and variable. And then tonight, 64 degrees, scattered thunderstorms and rain showers early, and then cloudy skies after midnight. Gusty winds and small hailstones are possible. And then the winds are light and variable with a 40% chance of rain. Blood Mountain, today is 77 for a high with patchy fog between 8 and 9 a.m. and then mostly sunny. Winds will be 5 miles per hour. And then tonight, 63, a slight chance of rain and thunder showers. Overnight, between midnight and 5 a.m., it will be partly cloudy, 5 mile per hour wind, and a 20% chance of rain. So water's good for the most part. Make sure you're topping off at Hawk Mountain Shelter, Slaughter Creek, and Neal Gap. Neal Gap to Hog Pen is dry. Hog Pen does have water. And then remember the snakes that are up in Cow Rock there. It's 5 miles north of Neal Gap. There's the boulders, there's copperheads, and we've had a lot of sightings of rattlesnakes up in there too. The road continues on US 441 Newfound Gap. The repairs are ongoing still for the Sugarlands to Newfound Gap where there was the landslide. They're projecting on or before 9/30/25 to be reopened. And then, of course, the Cherokee side in North Carolina is open. Bears right now in the Smoky Mountains. All the shelters and trails are open. Campsites that are closed is 18, 23, 57, and 96. Excuse me. And then the warnings, Trillium Gap Trail and Ramsey Cascades Trail, Russell Field Shelter, and Campsite 113. Let's remember to leave no trace wherever we go, proper storage and disposal of food and items, and then remember to take out all trash. Donald, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
All right, sweet, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's see what we have going on today. It is 5:27 a.m. on 9/5/2025, guys. All right, and so in Phoenix, we have a 70-year-old man who was rescued from Echo Canyon Trail on Camelback Mountain on Wednesday. He started his hike on the Chola Trail side of the mountain around 9 a.m. He called his wife around 1 p.m. to say he was out of water and was feeling weak, the fire department said. Now, I believe they have...
This is one of the spots that has the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Right.
Don't hike time because of high heat.
And if you're going to, bring enough water and
Right.
stuff, man. All right, so he was unsure how to return to the parking lot and was halfway up Camelback Mountain on the Echo Canyon Trail when rescuers found him. Rescuers gave him cold fluid IV therapy and used a big wheel stretcher to bring him down the trail. The man was in stable condition and refused to be brought to the hospital. No further info. All right, we have a hiker attack in South Africa. A female hiker's mountain walk turned into a nightmare this week when a man came up from behind, choked her, assaulted her, and made off with her belongings on the popular Pike Track Trail above Camps Bay. This happened Wednesday at about 1:50 p.m. Western Cape Police spokesperson Sergeant Wesley Twigg confirmed the arrest. Confirmed the arrest of an adult male suspect, and he is facing attempted murder and robbery charges by 2:50 p.m. The CID had spoken directly to the victim. The attacker's violent ambush was confirmed, but not before another hiker heroically intervened, fighting off the suspect who bolted with stolen items. CID deployed resources to every possible escape route, and at 3:41 p.m. the fugitive's luck ran out. The crime support team met with the victim to assist with all the administrative needs as well as the medical and trauma support. No further info. Wow.
That's scary.
Sure is, man. All right, so we have a rescue in Texas, Amarillo, Texas. Multiple agencies conducted an air rescue in the Palo Duro Canyon State Park Wednesday. Multiple agencies worked to evacuate a hiker with a medical emergency near the Lighthouse Formation. The call came in around 2:40 p.m. and multi-agency teams were dispatched to the area of the Rock Garden Trails. Ground crews realized the hiker was located farther in the canyon than initially reported, and his condition met the need for use of air operations. The hiker was successfully airlifted from the remote location and taken to a landing zone where EMS was waiting. No further info. All right, that's some scary stuff
It
going
sure
on, huh?
is.
I'm glad everyone was okay though. They caught the assailant. All
That's
right,
right.
and so we're gonna start here, guys, and we have hikers high on mushrooms. There were 4 of them, and they were in the Slide Mountain Wilderness, and they had to be rescued by park rangers. And so in Ray Brook, New York, a group of hikers who were high on mushrooms were rescued by park rangers. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation reported that 4 hikers were rescued from a mountain in upstate New York after ingesting mushrooms, which led to one of them experiencing a debilitating high. Ray Brook Dispatch received a 911 satellite text from a hiker in Ulster County at 5 p.m. on August 29th, reporting that the group was lost near Giant Ledge and Slide Mountain Wilderness. The caller admitted that the group had consumed mushrooms, resulting in one hiker's adverse reaction. Forest Rangers China, Jeffrey, and Martin located the group at 6:45 p.m. The Rangers, along with the Pine Hill Fire Department, assisted the hikers to the trailhead where they were evaluated by Shandaken Ambulance. During the rescue, the hikers lost their car keys. A ranger provided a courtesy ride back to their rental lodge. The next day, Ranger Martin returned to the area and found the keys in a sling bag under a log in tall ferns. Woo! And they show there's a video, and they show 2 rangers helping a dude down the trail. And so if you're going to ingest mushrooms, have someone that is able to stay sober so they can be a trip babysitter if you're going to ingest them out
That's
in the
right.
wilderness. So then you don't get lost in the forest. I mean, another person, didn't they think that their friend earlier
right,
this
that's
year,
right.
if I remember
They
correctly,
thought their friend had died.
in New
from
York,
something.
right, dude.
Yes.
They thought their friend had died, and they called in 911 rescue and stuff, man, and he wasn't dead. They were just high on mushrooms. And so, also, know your limitations with them. You don't have to do a heroic dose, which is 3.5 to and up of, or plus 5 grams, depending on what strains they are. But a heroic dose of any hallucinogenic does not need to happen on your first run or any run, really, unless unless you know how to handle it and you're experienced with it. And so it sounds like they had a friend that possibly tried to keep up with the big boys, maybe, and lost their way. So
Well, at least they got them out of there and they were safe.
that's right, man. You know what I mean, dude? It's I'm glad that it just ended up with them getting them out of there safe, man.
Give them a good story for later.
Sweet. And so next hiker story, let's see what we have going on, guys. Hold on one second. I thought there was more to that story, but that's it. All right. And so what did we have going on yesterday? It's been pretty quiet out here, guys.
That's right.
Jordan was working at the store yesterday, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he did that morning shuttle from Unicoi to Hogpen, and then he went to work.
yeah, but the morning one was a person that's been out here hiking, correct?
Yes,
All right, sweet. I want to read this one article here that I was reading, if it will show up. Okay, and so I also posted this, but I thought this was a really good story. So there was this in California, there was a scout troop, and they were out hiking, and they met up with this guy that had been lost in the woods, man, for several days. I think like 6 days. I read it yesterday, but so halfway into a recent week-long backpacking trip through California, Sierra Nevada, 9 members of a scout troop and their scoutmaster came across this man standing alone in a meadow deep in the Emigrant wilderness. He appeared disoriented and didn't have any hiking or camping gear. Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry. And so the California Highway Patrol confirmed the man was Douglas Montgomery. The group soon learned the 78-year-old was an experienced outdoorsman and former Scoutsmaster himself. The group also learned that he was stranded after veering 15 miles off his intended route, had lost his backpack, and been battling hypothermia for 2 days. Yeah, so we started very quickly realizing that he wasn't all right, said Michael James Hay, Scoutmaster for Troop 26 from Santa Barbara. He was looking really bedraggled. He's got cuts all over his hands. He's very unsteady on his feet, and he's being polite, but he's pretty out of it. Montgomery was on a 2-week-long solo backpacking trip. Several miles earlier, he'd set his pack down and left to go get a better look at his whereabouts on the trail. When he came back, he was unable to find the pack, which contained all his food, water, camping gear, and his GPS-enabled communication device. Which I always say, man, people put them on their backpacks, man, and they gotta have them on them, man. So if he would have had that on him and lost his pack and stuff, he'd be fine. But
It's a good example of exactly what you're saying.
yeah, definitely. So the scouts who found him averaged 12-year-olds, according to Hay, and were 4 days into a 7-day backpacking trip to a various alpine lakes east of the Sierra Nevada town of Pinecrest. Their trip started on August 2nd. The group came across the man on August 6th. In the days since losing his backpack, Montgomery had covered himself in lone foliage to sleep and drank water from nearby puddles. By the time the troop found him, he was unable to walk without falling over, Hay said. I pulled him down, got him some food, got electrolytes into him, and started getting him warmed up, he said. And then I had to make this choice around, Do I call rescue here? Is this something I can deal with myself? After learning that Montgomery had, at this point, gone several days without his essential medications that were in his pack, Hay and his assistant scoutmasters made the decision to call for rescue services. While waiting for the rescuers to arrive, the group prepared a checklist to all information first responders would need to assist the man, including his medical history and emergency contacts. Todd Brettauer, a helicopter pilot with CHP's Air Operations Division, said that his office was first notified of the lost hiker situation by the Tuolumne County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office had considered sending in a rescue team with a pack horse to transport Montgomery out of the backcountry, Brettauer said, but ultimately decided a horse rescue would take too long and that the best option was to airlift him from the meadow he had been found in. 3 hours after the Hay called in for help, Brettauer's helicopter arrived. He seemed in good spirits, Brettauer said of the lost hiker. He seemed, I think, consistent with somebody who had spent the night outdoors with minimal gear. Brettauer then transported Montgomery to a pack station at Kennedy Meadows where his niece was waiting for him with his car. He declined any further medical assistance, Brettauer said. The Santa Barbara Independent reported Montgomery had 20 years of experience leading scout troops in the Emigrant Wilderness during his time as a scoutmaster. He was an Eagle Scout with Troop 10 in Burlingame, he told the outlet. Hay said that he's thankful that his troop was able to witness in real time how the wilderness survival skills they have been taught can be life-saving. They saw how useful that stuff really was when you get into trouble, all the preparation and having some navigation tools with you, knowing which way is north and how it's important to leave a plan, Hay said. So all of those real fundamentals, a lot of them took those lessons to heart because it just made it really visceral for them. And they got it. And they were like, wow, this is really incredible. And of course, Hay is also grateful his troop happened upon the lost hike and was able to assist him in a rescue. It's one of those intense situations where we are so relieved we caught him because we are like, God, if we hadn't got to you, where would you have wandered off to? Hay said. That's a good story, man.
It
I
is.
like that. I posted that on my timeline if anyone wants to check it out for themselves. I read that from the San Francisco Gate. All right. And so today we have one shuttle going on. It, like we were saying, it's quiet out here right now. So we'll be around, man. We're just doing stuff around the house, making some good foods, man, and doing work. Anything you'd like to say, man?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Sweet, guys. All right. I hope everyone has a great day. If anyone needs anything at all, give us a jingle. One love, kids. Peace.